Hey guys, peace and blessings. This is Walil Archer from the Real Rap Radio Show on Down to Hot Radio. I have a special author with me today, author Dilgilio Rodriguez. How are you today?
I am doing great. Thank you for asking.
My pleasure, my pleasure. I'm so excited to have you today.
I appreciate that. It's good to be here.
Let's talk about your book. Let the listeners know about your book.
Okay. The book itself is Invaders Come for Our Women, and it's basically about aliens actually coming into our planet and basically trying to steal our beautiful women. And what happens is they encounter something that they wasn't ready for, which is a character by the name of DJ. A little bit about DJ. DJ was born in an orphanage, recruited by the FBI at a young age, and becomes more or less like an assassin. And now what happens is, as the story tells, he's in a bar. As he's drinking himself over the limit, he happens to pass out. While he passes out, now he envisions this vision of aliens actually entering our planet, crashing the bar where he's drinking at, and just destroying everything. And then he's given an ultimatum. The ultimatum is the two questions, which will he'll be presented with. If he can't answer those two questions, well, they're going to destroy the planet. Now, DJ finds himself in a vulnerable situation because he was always a kid that was never like really well, doing well in school, failed about just every exam. So he really didn't feel like he should have been the person representing, all of us. So as he's feeling all this weight on his shoulders, it finally comes down to that he either answers the question or they'll destroy the planet. So why they give him the first question, which is the true meaning of life, uh, he's like, what's going on? And he doesn't really know how to answer it. But what it comes down to, he actually blurs out women. Since he's got such a love for women, is the only thing that could pop to mind. And it just so happens that it just happened to be the answer. Now, I'm not saying that the aliens are the smartest creatures in the world, but at least that's what got him by. So as they're pissed and they getting ready to engage, he tends to panic. But now he's got one more shot to either get it right or basically they're going to destroy it. They're going to destroy the planet. So they hit him with another question, which is, what is the true meaning of life? And now he's like really not sure about anything. And he's like, you know what? Before I get blasted away, pulls out a beer out of his pocket and say, here it goes. As he takes the sip of beer, he answers the question. And it basically, the first question was the women. Now he's left with this question over here, which he says is alcohol. Once again, he just happened to answer the question right, which pisses off the aliens and they leave. But the reason I bring this up is because this should have been like a sign. This was none more than a vision when he had hit his head and he was unconscious, but it should have been like a sign to prepare him for. So now, where the book take you is that the next day, once he's recovering from his hangover, he happens to get this call from his agent. She's the chief director in Washington, who goes by the name of Angela. And what happens is she's the one that assigns him certain cases. Well, he successfully abduction cases. So now it was time for him to kind of like basically go to the next big job. She doesn't completely fill him in, but she's like, I need you sober and ready within 10 hours. So she gives him the time, sends him the supplies that he needs, and he's basically supposed to be the eyes and ears on the ground. Well, what, he goes to Mexico and he's out in the jungle. This is not where it all begins. And what happens is that once he gets there, as he's searching, he's looking for drug traffickers, and what he encounters next is beyond his belief. And what it is aliens transporting, human trafficking our women. So while he's taken and, mind blown by it, he doesn't really know what to do. But because of his training in the past and the type of person that he's always been to quickly engage into something and help out others, well, it just so happens that he does exactly that. He makes that one final call because just in case things go south, he knew that He didn't have enough time to either go back for help, which is what they wanted to just be the eyes and ears. So he decides to go for it. And what really gets him sparked up is that when he sees the third female being carried by the aliens, this is what really fires it up, fires it him up. Because what happens is he's got a thing for redheads, and it just so happens she just happens to be a redhead, and one that just looked beyond belief. So he's like, there is no way they're taking off with that chick. They're not getting away with this. So he decides to grab his arsenals and basically go after it. So he decides to chase the aliens. It just so happens that they step into this illusional type of triangle thing where they actually disappear once entering the ship. Now he's left, with nowhere to go, and he doesn't see the aliens, so he's got no choice but to go in. As he goes in, he encounters, levels and levels of chambers with women inside of them, and now he's like really mind blown. And what happens now is that because of the sophistication of certain equipment, that the controls or whatever, he can't find a way to operate the controls to release these women. And he's like, this can't be happening, whatever. He's left with no choice. So he decides to discharge his weapon. And as he discharges his weapon, it just so happens that not only he alerts the sound alarm of an intruder being on board, but he actually gets much of the liquid out of one of the chambers. It starts a reaction where now the fluids are coming out of the chambers, but he takes a second back before being fired upon to actually look. It's like, you know what? These aliens, besides having good taste in women, they probably found a way to shut them up. But besides that, now that he had discharged the weapon, as he discharges the control, it sets an alarm. The security alarm goes on, where now it basically alarms the aliens. So now he's taken on fire, and he's got no choice but to run. He's outmanned, so he's on the run. As he's actually running through the ship, he runs into one of the state quarters, and by mistake, it just so happens to be the alien queen's quarters. So when he steps into the quarters, which is more like a transparent wall, he falls right through. As he falls through, the alien queen was already waiting for him. So now, as he gets back on his feet, he's in question as to who is this person, what are you doing here? And now she, in turn, decides to question him. So as she's questioning him what he's doing on board this ship, he tries to play it off because now he's a bit intimidated by her presence. That he was like more or less, someone that likes to hike, be in nature, or whatever, and just happened to be at the wrong place where she wasn't buying it. And now, to waste no time, to talk a little about the queen. The queen was one that was basically ordering the captures of the other women because she's like a human hybrid. She wants to become more human, and through all the failed attempts in the past, she's never really succeeded. So now she's counting on DJ, since she's got an American male on board, to take advantage of him. So since she can't become a human hybrid, now she's looking to see if she can have a human baby. So now she's demanding DJ to remove his clothes. And DJ is puzzled by everything because he's not really sure what to do. Now, he's never said no to a woman before, but this wasn't exactly just a woman. This was an alien woman, even though she had the bodies and all the features of a human woman. It was the face that basically, the disfigurement of the face, that really kind of like tells that she's an alien. So he decides to remove his clothes. As he's removing his clothes, he's like, not, I guess I might as well go for it. So as they go to engage in intimacy, now she's able to read off his mind. And as she's reading his mind, she can read his thoughts. And what happens is that now, because of DJ's, uh, how can I put it, erotic behavior of the way he thinks and the things that he likes to do and engage with women, she's able to see all this. So now she's going to want a little taste of basically that other pleasurement that he gives women. So DJ has a thing for like hot sauce and mayonnaise. And it just so happens that the way he uses this is more or less basically on certain women that he prefers, not the alien woman or the alien queen, but certain women that he had preferred to do this. So she decides that now she wants this type of intimacy and pulls out a tray out of the wall with hot sauce and mayonnaise. So as he's looking at what's going on, he's like questioning, wait a minute, what's going on? And she's like, no, I can read your mind. This is what I want done. Now he's got no choice. Well, leaving him with no choice, he goes for the hot sauce and the mayonnaise and takes a mouthful and decides he's got no choice. He's got to do it. So as he goes to engage, I guess the chemicals of the mayonnaise and the hot sauce, mainly the hot sauce, doesn't agree with her DNA. And this is what flames the queen alien to transform. And now, because she's transforming, he's got no choice but to run because she's destroying the room. And mainly she's out of control. So as she's out of control and she's on fire, she's got fire, sparkling out of her eyes, and she's destroying half of the ship. So it puts DJ on the run. And while DJ decides to run, now he's bypassing a lot of the aliens that are running towards to save the queen because she's basically making the ship vulnerable. She's destroying the ship with her powers. So as DJ's on the run, he happens to listen to a small voice in his mind, and what he's listening to is actually his twin brother. So now as he's running, he's like, why am I getting this voice in my head? And as he listens to the voice further and further, DJ has a twin brother. The brother was a Navy SEAL that was killed in action and then was taken by the military and turned into a cyborg. So he was actually one of the first responders, and because he's more of armored, he got trapped in one of the magnetic fields. So now he's feeling his brother's presence on the ship, and he's calling for his brother to help. So this is his twin brother. Instead of saving the women, he's like, I'm going for my brother. So this is what he's aiming for. And as he's on the run and trying to see where his brother's located, it just so happens that once he finds him, the magnetic fields are so strong he can't control it, and he doesn't know how to break down the functions of the controllers. Well, by the ship being destroyed, by the Queen's presence and what she's going through, it de-energizes the craft to the point where now DJ is able to release his brother. So as he releases his brother, now they're able to escape from the ship. So as they're escaping the ship, they're fighting through, their way out, fighting the aliens. And once they come to the point where they can actually jump off the spacecraft, they're looking at 100 feet down, before making contact with the ground, which they have no choice. But due to once they take the jump, due to his brother's powers being a cyborg and the astral blast that he's got attached to his back, it kind of breaks the fall a bit, but DJ ends up getting hurt. Now, what really hurts DJ the most, besides the injury once he's on the ground, because they do survive, is that he was more or less upset he wasn't able to save the women. But as the ship is descending in air, um, the brother, the cyborg, he's able to fire upon the ship, not destroying it, but de-energizing or at least keeping it from mobilizing and going out to space, where it ends up crashing in the ocean. They're not aware about it, but that's basically where the ship goes. And then what it turns out is that once the ship is away, and the people are away from danger, this is where the women actually were able to escape, and they all start coming from around the trees and uncovering themselves from the scene. So DJ was able to save the women after all, and on top of that was able to win the true love of his chief director, which is Angela, who he's always had a thing for, but just never really knew how to express himself because of her position. And that's more or less the story of book one, with the invaders come for our women.
Now, what was the inspiration behind the story?
I think to some degree, when you when you look at, a majority of the movies that I've seen in the past, um, the way I like to say that more or less it was for me to have something different besides what's already out there. A lot of movies have been written where it's more intimidating, it's threatening, whatever. I wanted something different that not only show the presence of aliens, but also that, one man can make a difference. And besides the aliens presence, there could be a lot more humor in between than just being a full action type of movie.
Okay. And then you have two stories. You have another story that goes the next one.
Yes. The what I'm writing is basically a trilogy. It's a series. I started from book 8, which is The Invaders Come for Our Women, and then book 9 is The Aliens Are Back, and then book uh book 10 would be the Alien Princess Comes for Her Man. Now, book 9 more or less gets more intense with the military. That's where the military gets involved, and more or less where DJ is more like on the chase.
Okay. Now, are you self-published?
Yes,
Okay.
I do have I started out self-published, but I do have a publishing company that I'm working with.
Nice. And how long you been writing books?
Um, I I wanted. I remember when I first started my job. It took me almost like 10 years. I always kept on talking about, I had so much to give and so much to write, but I just didn't know how to start writing. And when I did start, I didn't even want to read my own materials. But it took me almost 10 years before I actually got started. And once I did get started, it was still quite messy. I read a couple of things that I really don't care to like speak about, but more or less, this was like the avenue that I wanted to go between the animations telling one side of the story and me telling the other.
Okay. Now, what do you what do you want the readers to walk away from after reading this story?
I want them to know one that when they think of aliens, that they're not exactly all ugly or intimidating, that maybe there is another side that maybe they're probably looking for some of the things that we already have. You can have just about everything in the world, but if you're not really satisfied with what you have and you're looking at humans, which they're supposed to be the most advanced creatures in the world, and they seem to have more fun than what you're actually able to have, that maybe they're kind of searching for the same thing that we're looking for: love, hope, excitement, being able to have a great time. So, yeah, the just the thought that it's not always like an ugly scene when you're talking about aliens, but that who knows? Yeah, you might make a friend, you might have the same characteristics, in common. So yeah,
Did you face any challenges writing this book?
yes. um, Writing when I first started, I don't think I really included myself as a character. So the creativity side, when you're putting like too much creativity into something and you're trying to make up so much, sometimes it can get quite messy. But I think once I added myself as the character, the main character, and I was able to like just really be myself. And a lot of it is fictional, don't get me wrong, but there are some parts where you can actually say, no, no, this is DJ. So yeah, I think once I was able to more or less accept me as the character and just be myself, that's when it started becoming entertaining.
Nice. And as we begin to close out, where can they purchase the book at?
They can go online. They can go onto my website, the lastcitycowboy.com, or they can also go on Amazon. On Amazon, put my name, Dilgilio Rodriguez, or The Last City Cowboy, and it should come up on Amazon as well.
And where can they find you on social media?
They can find me on Instagram. They could find me on Facebook, and also on my website.
And let them know your website.
Once again, the website is thelastcitycowboy.com. That's thelastcitycowboy.com.
And
Not
what's
the cowboy.com, but the lastcitycowboy.com.
and what's the name of your social media handles?
I'm sorry, was he saying something? The social media is Atticus. But for the most part, I just want to take the time really quick to thank Logan Crawford and Vera and John for doing a tremendous job and bringing me to people like you. I really had a great time, and I enjoyed this moment. But yeah, everything has been great, and I really thank you for the opportunity and everything that you have given me to help promote my book.
My pleasure. Any final thoughts or closing remarks before we go?
Uh All I can say is thank you for the opportunity. I hope we get to meet again under better circumstances. Maybe this time I'll have my hair down.
Understood, understood, understood.
But I really thank you for making it comfortable for me. And I do expect you to get my name right. All right.
Yes,
You did a great job. There you
Dilgilio
go.
Rodriguez.
There you go. There you go. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Great job. Great job.
But thank you so much for doing the interview today.
And I thank you.
My pleasure. So that's my time today on the Real Rap Radio Show. And I'll see you guys next time on the Real Rap Radio Show with Walil Archer on Downtown Hott Radio.
Oh, yeah.